audio real quick. I may seem a little bit paranoid about my audio for Twitch, but that's because on several occasions I have done streams where I don't have any audio. So,
Oh no.
yeah, there's one stream that I still have on this channel actually, that is pretty much like one of the biggest points in one of the series that I did, and it was a whole tournament awesome battle thing like that, and everybody was excited for it. We had a very fun time with it. You could hear everyone's voice but mine.
Oh yeah, I remember watching that one after it came on YouTube. Like, it was a
Yeah.
nice episode, but it sounds like your voice didn't appear in there at all. And
Yeah,
it's really hard to
it
tell
did
what
not
you're
record
trying
my
to
voice
be
at
talking
all.
about with them.
It's very annoying. I'm actually going to have to go eventually and re-record my voice for all that. I don't really have the file for it, so I'm just going to have to basically improv an entire hour and a half of context.
Oh no.
Yeah, it will not be a very good video, which is why I haven't done it, but it will eventually be done. Anyways, welcome everybody. Now that a minute has passed, I like having a minute where like everything just goes past, so folks who are sub can just get in. But welcome to Shifting Fates. I am here with my person's not there. That's something I should have looked at. Hold on, let me have my person real quick before I start talking. I need to change my Twitch chat commands at some point too. Oh well.
I don't know. I kind of like this. You're a disembodied voice. Oh, never mind.
I exist now.
Maybe one of these days, someone needs to redraw his avatar like in DM state, just like third eye, cloak, and
Oh
that
God,
sort of
I
thing.
would love that. I might have my sister do that at some point. But yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome to Shifting Fates. I am here with Oliver.
Hello, hello.
Shaky.
Hi.
And Eleonora.
Hello.
And unfortunately, Rowena is not here today as we specified last session, just because she has stuff going on with work and with life and everything like that. But hopefully she'll be joining us for next episode, which I believe will be the 8th of next month. Woo!
It's unfortunately the way that life tends to go, so
Yeah.
best we can really do is just wait for the news for how it all went. And it's not like anything permanent or particularly harmful is going on. She's just not going to be here for the specific session, and hopefully it's not going to be a normal thing.
Yeah, we've spent 7 episodes straight with not a single person being late or being
Other than you.
not there. It's 7. This is number 8. Okay, I'm talking about the past 7 sessions. Thank you. I was on time for those. We spent 7 sessions straight with no one being late, no one, everybody being here, and no one having to mostly reschedule anything, which was really, really nice. And actually better than pretty much any campaign I've done previously. So I'm excited.
So, Sen,
Yes.
before we get started with this, I do feel that I probably should mention, so I showed you that I have access to the ability of ritual casting, right?
Yes, because you are an artificer, I believe.
Do I need to run back through the tutorial for how that exactly works?
I believe if you're out of combat, you spend 10 minutes doing the ritual.
Basically, I can add 10 minutes to the normal casting time of the spell in order to cast it for free. However, I can only ritual cast a spell that directly has the ritual tag. So if you'll pull up my character sheet here and go to my spell book, see the R next to Detect Magic?
Yeah.
That marks a spell as something I can cast as a ritual. Now, Artificers have a little bit of additional layer that I believe not all other casters have, which is in order to ritual cast a spell, the spell in question has to be something I already have prepared. In my case here, Detect Magic is prepared, so I could cast that as a ritual, whereas something above that, like Alarm there, since I do not have it prepared, I cannot.
Cool.
Fair enough?
That makes sense.
I should also point out, there is actually no rule that says it has to be done outside of combat. You could spend 100 turns ritual casting.
I don't know why anyone would, but you could do it. Yes.
I would love to see someone in combat do a ritual. I would love to see that. I don't know in
Will it at
any
least include
situation that could
dancing?
happen.
Will it include dancing and singing type of ritual?
Ritual
Maybe
basically.
art is ritual casting.
That really all depends on the flavoring for the situation. Like in my character's case, since he's not really a caster in the standard sense, it probably would be more represented as this is time he's spending away from the situation trying to gather up materials and process those on the spot to make them work in place.
Oh, I didn't know silence was a ritual. Oh, that's cool. Interesting.
By the way, I am never going to use ritual casting, even though it's available to me. Because I do not believe that bards should have ritual casting.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I mean,
What-
again, you can basically flavor that as anything you want. You could actually be the individual that does the dance and the songs.
Oh god, praising the gods above that technically don't exist.
Sin, he's not a divine caster.
Well, you don't have to gain the powers of God to praise them. You could just hop outside in the rain in nothing but your skivvies, praising the Lord above with a wand and a stick.
That is not how I got my fry pan.
I think
You were a
if
child.
ritual cast, that's how they would do it.
You were
I
a
was a
child.
child.
You don't know how you got your
I was-
fry pan.
That is true.
You could very
But I'd like
easily
to
have been
think-
dancing. Okay, so last episode, you guys saw the massive orc camp, which Rowena specified was actually smaller than the Elven Citadel. Yes, that's the word. My brain's only half on, sorry. She actually specified that it was smaller than the Elven Citadel, which kind of is terrifying idea. You guys saw the Necromancer giving what seemed to be a pouch of gold. It was kind of hard to tell in the distance, so probably a pouch of money at least. Could have been a pouch of pretty much anything, but it looked like a pouch of money. To the guard at the gate, who then transferred it to others, and then it disappeared from your line of sight. So your best assumption is that it went back to the leaders or whatever have you. Then the Necromancer came up the hill. You guys freaked the fuck out because it's a Necromancer. Great, pretty much perfect reaction to that. Y'all figured out a plan to make it so Shaky turned into an orc using Disguise Self, I believe. I think that was it.
I'm
Yeah.
just shocked he didn't decide to use one of the potions of Alter Self.
Yeah, I mean, I think Disguise... It
I
pretty much-
let you keep it in case you needed two, if I recall.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And then y'all talked with him. He went on his way after basically telling you if you wanted to hear the truth, go talk to the guardsman. And he did, in fact, tell the truth. And then two of y'all passed with a critical, if I remember correctly, on your Constitution saves. Let me just scroll up to
I
look at that
became
real
the
quick.
snow.
Just roll, yeah. Constitution save of 23 and 21. y'all were not phased in the slightest by this man, which makes sense for your backstories. Shaky only got an 18, I believe. So he was slightly shaken, but not
No,
much.
You're looking at his stealth. He got a 20 for his
Shaken, but not
constitution
big.
as
Oh,
well.
did he get 20 for his Constitution? Yeah,
He got a modified 20.
God damn, yeah, you were slightly shaken, but not by much. It flew over you like a breath of fresh air.
They don't call me Shaky for nothing.
Rowena, on the other hand, she practically had a heart attack. So she's very concerned by everything and is going to be pretty much in character, completely quiet, pretty much just nodding or shaking her head and following you guys wherever you're going. In character, she's thinking over a lot of her history, a lot of her past, a lot of everything that's led up to now. So she's just going to be, I'm just going to roleplay her as being very quiet, nodding or shaking her head depending on decisions that you guys make, and pretty much just being what's the word? Traumatized. That's the word.
I mean, it makes sense because the necromancer and finding out we're related in some way, and everything might be a lie to how she grew up. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, and for those of you last episode that didn't quite catch it, like Eleonora didn't quite catch it.
shut up.
the
I'm
the
gonna
marks
stab you.
the marks being identical means that someone in her father's siblings gave birth to a child, and that child is. So Eleanor's father gave birth to her, and then either Eleanor's father or any of his siblings, if he has any, gave birth to Eleanor.
How was I
Ah.
supposed to know we were close related?
I don't know if y'all could hear that car
So in other
outside, but
so in other words, the tattoos are just something that each of her that her parents and her ancestors imprinted on her.
pretty much, yeah. So the true marks, as they're sometimes called, though usually just called marks, are referencing the true bloods, which are basically those with a sole amount of whatever race's bloodline. So if you only have elven blood, or you have a vast majority of elven blood, you will gain a mark. And so the original elves all have marks. They all pass down the marks. And so as they all passed down the marks, it got muddled with humans, and the marks went away. But generally speaking, if two people with marks have a kid, that kid will also have a mark, regardless of their blood. If that kid has a kid with another person with a mark, then they will have another mark, regardless of if they're half-bloods or not. The only way to get rid of a mark is by having a half-blood, or having a muddled blood, and then that muddled blood having a kid with someone who has no mark. Generally speaking, the marks cannot be transferred by half-bloods unless you marry, or unless you mate with a full-blood, true blood. It's very hard to describe. But essentially, blood meets blood, kid has blood. The true bloods are exceptionally rare nowadays, just because of how long it's been. Elves have the most true bloods, because they live the longest lives and they have the least amount of kids, generally speaking, just because they're so old. So I think, to the best of your guys' knowledge, or most of the world's knowledge, the elves have 6 true bloods. To most people's knowledge. That's the 5 councilmen, and then Ruina's father. There's probably more, but that's just public knowledge. And so far, y'all would know that there's only one true-blooded gnome, which would be because Ellie told you, probably,
He's
about...
a hoe.
Huh?
I was just saying he's a hoe.
Yeah, her grandpappy, he is a true marked gnome, and there's one true-blooded orc that you guys have seen, which is even rarer because orcs live such very, very short lives, and that would be Rockadol, that you guys met earlier, and that's because Big Mama told you that he is one of the last remaining true-blooded orcs. But yeah. So basically, either Eleanor and Rowena have to be related by some aspect. Either she is her direct sister, or she is a half-sister, or she is birthed by one of Rowena's father's siblings, whom...
Believe me, if I knew she was my cousin, we never would have dated.
I remember that
Throw you.
song! God, that's old. Jesus. Oh, God, I remember listening to that song like a decade ago. I feel old now. God damn it. Why do you make me do this, Shaky?
Because you were ranting.
Fair enough. But yeah, so you guys are currently hauled onto the trees, still kind of late. The only real light source at the moment is the orcs in the distance, which are actually quite bright, and they're kind of shining upon you guys. Snow is reflecting a lot. Ruina's huddled against a tree. Ellie is kind of shaking her shoulder, in a desperate attempt to help, without really understanding how she's feeling, because apparently She doesn't understand how terrifying necromancers are.
Been there, dealt with that. So,
I'm sorry, I can't help you more, tiny child, but no idea what the fuck you're going through.
The worst part, Sin, necromancers are ordinary wizards that dedicate to one particular, well, mostly dedicate to one particular school of magic. It doesn't even necessarily mean it's any stronger than a normal wizard,
Yep.
but it also means he's also really squishy, probably.
Y'all can hope.
good to know.
But yeah, so the scene's laid out. What would you guys like to do?
I don't think we'll be finding too much more here. I think we're probably best off turning around.
Unless we all want to disguise ourselves as orcs and just walk right in the front door.
We only have two alter herself elixirs, and those things only last for about 10 minutes.
Also, I don't think Rowena would be able to really be on her feet right now and would want to go through the orcs right now.
Well, I ain't carrying her, so what's the plan?
I will note that Oliver, you should have disguise self, I think, as one of your spells.
I do, but I do not have it prepared.
Ah, okay, cool. That's what I was thinking. But I will note that, but yeah, so keep going.
If you guys are feeling froggy and wanting to go through and maybe check out the orc encampment, I can just stay with Rowena or bring her to Big Mama so that she can gather herself in a safer area.
But what would we really be expecting to find over the course of about 10 minutes?
I was kind of just hoping to pick a couple pockets, if I'm going to be perfectly frank.
That sounds very dangerous, especially if you're caught.
That is a valid counterpoint.
I suppose we make our way back towards Big Mama's encampment and think about how to, or try and think about what to do next from there. Probably the safest location at the moment, and it's definitely way safer than this hillside.
So, my understanding is that Miss Shaky here, oh boy, Miss Shaky here, not what it sounds like, was intending to go back to the Citadel, La Cittadella, and report into her superiors. Why don't we, because Mama's place probably ain't safe no more. Why don't we just head straight east?
Does she have everything that she needs?
I don't know. Shaky, do you have everything you need?
Asking that to Rowena.
She looks. What's the best way to describe this? She looks like she's seen several ghosts, and they have walked through her several times. But she kind of like just kind of tilts her head slightly. Doesn't seem to be really registering the question very well. Gives what you can assume is a slight bit of a head shake, but it's a very confused head shake. Like she's not entirely sure.
Well, one thing's for sure, it doesn't really seem like this location's going to assist with keeping a stable mind in any of us, probably, especially her at the moment. At the very least, we do definitely need to find a different location to go. And
There's
I'll
a
leave
tavern in Greytown.
Honestly, I'd like to go on back there and see if there's some sort of magic shop for a couple extra components. Last night I had an premonition of a couple of potential concoctions I want to try out later.
I wouldn't mind a real bed and some warm company.
Of that, I cannot blame you.
Agreed, and it'll help Rowena gather herself because last time her and I talked, before the necromancer, of course, she seemed to be questioning a lot of things back with the Citadel and her mission to come to this camp, so
I mean, all that made perfect sense to me.
Again, at this point, I mostly just think it's probably best to just move to a safer location.
I still think Big Mama's will be the safest, especially we can talk to her more about the, like, maybe growing the orc resistance more. But that's just my thought, because then we can just have an overall resistance on both sides, but
Perhaps, but how do we talk anyone from either side to join forces?
Big Mama's too depressed to be any sort of resistance fighter. She's gonna take the path of least resistance to her grave.
That's
And
a
that's the
fair
part that
point.
bothers me.
Now we go back to that town and we're gambling. And I like gambling, but I don't like those odds.
I mean, the necromancer did seem to head in that direction, sort of, so.
I really wish this lens cleaner would get me a good look of magic residue in that area, because I would love to see how much necromancy is flowing through there.
Sounds like someone wants to visit the cemetery.
Not really as much as it probably sounds.
We're going back to Mama's, aren't we?
Or we can just go back to Greytown. Either way. It would bring us closer to where Ruina would maybe still want to be at, so.
And I'm fairly certain we're probably not going to be finding too much more out here.
Not unless y'all win. Which at the moment, unless you guys take a long rest, Shaky would be the only one who could get in there with relative ease. I mean, for more than 10 minutes. So, Greytown or
Well,
Big Mama's?
Now that I think about it, we got a couple of elves with us. I could take you prisoner.
Oh God! I mean, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
I think Ruina's already been traumatized enough tonight.
I don't think
Alright.
she's gonna move.
Plus,
And
getting in would be easy. Getting out would be the hard part.
Well, you do have a very angry, pan-wielding monk elf on your side. So.
Also, I do still have the disguise elixir too.
Both you and Ruina have one.
True.
And it will go bad at midnight at in-game time.
So what's the plans, my friends?
I vote going back.
Back to where?
I mean, I've got a lot more I could probably be doing in Greytown, but I'm fine either way.
Well, Ellie?
I think Greytown would be fine enough. I mean, if we go back to Big Mama's, there's not much we'll gain from there. And we'll still be in this area.
My vote's for Greytown. Ruina?
He just kind of shrugs, still looking off into the distance.
Greytown it is.
Yeah, if nothing else, I think probably somewhere soft to lay for the night's probably going to be a better for her mental state than anything we'll find out here.
Agreed. Now someone take the lead, because I don't know which way is east from here.
I'm on it. I can see somewhat well here.
Nice.
I was about to say, I ventured on supposedly a stroll and ended up in Greytown from the bottom of the country, so I would not be good at directions.
All right. So
If it would make anything better, I do have a little bit of a concoction left to make a tiny light source, if that would be comfort to Rowena here.
She
Or
shakes her
anyone,
head
honestly.
softly.
I don't want to start drawing the creatures of the forest to us like moths to the flame.
Fair enough.
Didn't
Yeah,
you guys
alright.
love my doggies though?
You mean the ones we barely missed?
Yeah, yeah. The ones with faces that weren't there properly, you know.
Finn, you've been playing too much Dark Souls.
Just a little. Alright, so y'all headed back on your ways. It takes you probably a couple of days to get back to Greytown, but you guys go at a fairly decent pace. Rowena keeps pace with y'all, though she sticks very close to Ellie, practically holding on to her arm the entire time. But y'all make a very, very good pace all the way to Greytown. Takes you maybe 2 days or so. But y'all eventually get back there. Oops. There we go. As you're there, the town looks pretty much the same as it did earlier. Most of the folks seem to be moving around now. There's a couple of farmers attempting to, I suppose, weed or farm or whatever they're doing inside their small patches. Doesn't seem to be looking too efficient, but they're probably about to get into some form of, farming seeding season. I don't know what they call it. I only know farming season, so
They call it the growing season.
the growing season. Yeah, okay. So they're probably doing some form of growing season, which does not seem like it's being very efficient, but it's also a small town, so it doesn't really matter too much. There's a couple of livestock, I believe I said earlier. A couple of lambs, a couple of sheeps. They seem to be grazing on what grass there is. The tavern seems to be open. Seems like a couple of folks are still inside the tavern, not doing too much. It seems like a very quiet day, very calm, very peaceful. It would probably
Actually, random
be
question.
mid-ish,
Sorry.
day-ish.
Random question for the way back.
Mhm.
Did we see any additional orc activity outside of the camp that we destroyed?
That's a good question, actually. I'll have to leave you roll me survival real quick. Oliver, do advantage. Okie dokie. Shaky?
Working on it. I'm real bad at Foundry, guys.
No problem.
Oh, I'm
Don't worry,
clicking.
still
I'm
trying to
clicking
figure
the
this out anyway.
settings button. That's why.
You can quickly open your character sheet with the C key.
Alright, cool.
Oh no, the problem was I was clicking the gear, thinking it was a
Oh.
die. Because I am a smart who did a smarts. I'm not a
no
smart.
feeling.
I'm a dumb.
Alright, cool. You guys didn't hear much. Ellie, I'm gonna do one for Rowena just in case, because I think her survival is okay. These are all
And I think if
pretty...
you're panicked, she'd probably be a lot more alert.
Yeah, she's panicked to hell. Oh yeah, that that makes sense. Yeah, so y'all don't see a whole lot.
She
Go.
not only sees every living soul out there, but she knows their extended lineage, including all of their lovers.
She's very concerned. You guys pretty much go on your way relatively easily, although at one point Rowena pretty much grabs both Shaky and Oliver by the back of the necks and holds you guys down to the ground. And then probably about minute, maybe 2 minutes later, a small group of orcs pass by you, pretty much. You guys are in the shrubbery. They're somewhat loud, but you two didn't notice them at all as they go on by. They seem to be slightly different from what she noted from the main camp. The main camp seemed to have different colors on them, primarily reds, yellows. I want to say probably some forms of blacks or yellows, something along those. These ones, they're wearing some insomnias, some are purple bands, some seem to be blue bands. Kind of really hard to tell in the night, but or the effective night. But as they walk by, you guys do see they're holding torches. So you guys are able to see their bands and whatnot. They seem to be slightly different from the main camp orcs as they pass on by. Rowena does speak Orcish. Oliver, I don't think you do.
I do not.
Cool.
What
I think
direction are they headed?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
they are heading. Let's see. If the camp's directly behind you, they are. We're gonna say directly behind you is west. We're gonna say they're going north. So to your guys' left at the time. They don't seem to be heading directly back to the camp either. Rowena says nothing as she's hearing them speak. Yeah. Doesn't
Should
seem
we
to be...
make our presence known?
Actually, that's a good question. How many orcs are here? Is
4.
it just like a couple? Oh, there's 4?
Yeah.
So we might theoretically be able to take them if that's what we wanted to do.
In theory, yeah. They
Wasn't
seem to
asking
be...
if we should.
Yeah. I mean, you guys could negotiate with them. You guys could talk to them. You guys could avoid them. That 25 stealth is more than enough to avoid them if you guys want to. You guys could talk, and then if things go sour, you guys could beat the living shit out of them. Up to you guys.
To clarify, when I said should we make our presence known, I wasn't suggesting we ambush them. I was suggesting we talk to them.
I mean, since they're not heading to what seems the direction of the main camp, maybe they're going to Big Mama's, since they also look different than the main camp orcs.
I don't feel like Mama's orcs would have bands and insignias on them.
Then who do their alliances stand with?
I don't know, mercenaries maybe? With a company uniform?
Where on earth are they going? He just has said slightly under his breath. That's watching them pass by.
Fuck it, I'm gonna get out from the bush and hold my hand up.
Alright, let me change the scene real quick. Where should I put it?
Are you gonna change into an orc or no?
Nope.
Cool. I will put you guys... does this work? Ah, this works. And I will put Shaky here instead.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. It should go without saying, but those potions of transformation are long unusable now.
Yep.
Because we've been going for more than a day.
I will make you thick. That's probably how I do it. Yeah, sure, that works. That's... Why cannot move you? Ah, there it is. I have to touch your middle face. Cool. So you pop out the woodwork. Do you do it as they're passing? Do you do it after they have passed, so they have to turn around? Or...
As they're passing.
Okay, cool. So one of them looks at you. I don't want to say the one kind of in the middle. So they're in like a diamond pattern, I suppose. The one on the left and the one on the right both have torches, possibly to make it so things don't get near them, but also so they just have better sight. As you pop out the bushes, which both Ellie and Rowena are very carefully hidden inside, that 25 is fucking phenomenal.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they look at you, and the one on the left starts shouting stuff in Orcish at you, although none of them have really moved towards their weapons. It seems like they assume that you know Orcish.
Yo no comprendo, senor.
Pretty much all 4 of them just kind of stare at you for a second, and then the one who would be at the head kind of clears his throat and says in what you imagine is kind of mangled common, well, let me see if I can get a voice for him. Fuck, I'm really bad at orc voices, but we'll go with, who are you?
Just a traveler. Was curious, wanted to know what the armbands you're wearing meant.
I'm part of the Orc Chieftains tribe. Nocta.
Yeah, that about it. I should have known. Alright. I'm just gonna stand by the side of the road.
Why are you in our forest, human?
I was making a delivery for, you're familiar with, Mama and her band.
Kind of nods to you.
I'm a courier.
Mama's strong. Ragnar likes strong.
I tell you, she scares the living daylights out of me.
Are you part of tribe?
Just a courier. Just conducting business. They call me
What's
Courier
business
6.
here?
Well, Mama begs to differ, but, if it's alright with you, I'll be on my way. And I'm just gonna head down the path.
Careful on words, human. Death follows footsteps.
It's nice to meet you, Death Follows Footsteps.
He kind of looks at you with a confused look and things like,
No. Name. Bloody Tooth.
Ah, nice to meet you, Bloody Tooth Death Follows Footsteps.
Just like giving this man titles.
he kind of looks
Ellie
confused for a second
face
before he
plants.
shrugs.
Death follows. Good name.
He just starts walking with the rest of his crew.
The moment I'm out of sight, I'm just gonna stop and wait for my companions to catch up.
As soon as they're, again, just as he said, as soon as they're out of sight, I'm gonna hang out and I'm going down the path. She's like,
Oh, whoops, I used
Huh.
Ragnar already. Change the name that I just said previously. The Orc
you said
Chieftain will...
Bloodfang, I think.
Blood
Blood-
sorry.
Tooth, and the
Yeah.
leader's name is Blood Tooth.
Yeah, so this guy's name was Bloody Tooth. Probably because he killed people with his tooth. Although now he's don't go by Death Follows because he really likes that name. He really likes
the guy who
that.
gives you a cooler name.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is why you get to live.
But the Orc Chieftain I named Ragnar, which I already had used, so we're actually gonna call him Noctar. There we go, Noctar. No, that's too close. Shut up. I can feel you judging me, Ellie.
I
You
didn't even
could
type
just call
or
him.
say
You
anything.
could just call him Nasher or something like that.
Nasher. Ooh, I like Nasher. Yeah, so War Chieftain Nasher. You guys will note that Bloodtooth was always called the head War Chieftain. So, just letting y'all know. So, War Chieftain Nasher, head War Chief Bloodtooth, and this guy's name was Death Follows, apparently.
It is now.
Yeah.
So,
That's
how
such
does
a
it
good
feel to
name.
name an orc?
I'm gonna be honest. I was really overthinking things there. I was hoping, maybe we'd bump into a new faction. Nope, it was just the same orcs. It's always the same orcs.
Still though, no sign. Not much in terms of signs of hostility. You back there?
Can't
Even if
believe they bought that courier bullshit with all the instruments strung up on me.
I mean, what way do they have of denying it or of claiming against it?
I mean,
For all they know,
They
you
could-
might have just been selling instruments to her.
yeah,
You never said what you were delivering.
fair point. Fair point. Although in this case, I suppose since I'm leaving, I'd have been buying the instruments.
Maybe. Depends on how many. Depends on where you were intending to stop by next.
That's true. I will note, actually, Shaky, how much information do you have on orcs, normally?
Whatever generally the people of where I'm from would know. I'm trying
Nice.
to word that very vaguely so as not to spoil things.
Yeah, I get that. Roll me a history check. Oliver would not know much, nor would
I
Ellie.
other than the war bands that would occasionally pop up in Silver Pass.
Yeah, so it's very unlikely you guys would know about that. With a 15, I'll say you do know this. There is multiple tribes of orcs. Specifically, there is the head orc chieftain tribe, which is obviously Bloodtooth. They're the leaders. They command literally all of the orcs, as all orcs are, well, almost all orcs value strength over all else. Whoever is the head orc chieftain basically gets to say, this is how this goes, and they all say, yeah, all right, whatever. But then the other tribes, they have their own personal orc chieftains, which basically lay the laws of the land around the head orc chieftain. They pretty much get final say until the head orc chieftain says otherwise. And if the head orc chieftain decides they need to die, they just get murdered. So it's very rare that a orc chieftain will go against the head orc chieftain unless he believes he can beat him in one-on-one pure strength combat, which has not happened in over 20 years. Although you don't know any of their names.
So it sounds like I know then that these are just from a random orc tribe in the area then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool. And now I know what armbands mean, and I know not to jump out of the bush next time.
Yeah. I will
Yay.
note, Big Mama had no bands on her, and neither did Mama's entire tribe had no bands, and neither did Rogdor, which is kind of odd. At least it would be to y'all that Rogdor had no marks on him if these guys did.
He's not special.
Or he's just an asshole. Which is
Both.
perfectly fair.
Neither are fully verifiable,
That's fair.
unfortunately.
So what tribe were those orcs from?
It sounded like they were part of Nasher's tribe. Each one basically is just the name of the head chieftain, or the orc chieftain. And so they're probably there's the main big orc tribe, and then around them are wandering tribes, basically, kind of like Big Mamas. And so those change year after year. Some die, some grow, some take over everyone else. And so they're probably just a smaller faction. How important they are is something y'all wouldn't know.
Got it.
Y'all could follow them.
They're going back towards they're going deeper into the dark woods, right?
They're going to the north, yeah. Where I believe Big Mama said the dwarves are far enough north. So they're either going close to the dwarves, or just north.
You know, the dwarves are known for their hospitality.
I wouldn't know. I haven't
And
met
their
any dwarves.
alcohol.
Exactly.
And their greed.
Pretty sure there'll be gnomes amongst them too. Didn't you say you haven't seen a gnome before, Oliver?
I have not. And to be fair, I guess one of my concoctions does need a little bit of alcohol to make work. Alright,
I would,
well, if that's what you want to do.
I would
Guys,
say.
I got a new plan. We need to introduce Oliver to the gnomes. I vote we go straight southeast.
As long as it's not the gnomes I grew up with, we're good.
That those would be the notes you grew up with.
I'm somehow betting they would probably. I'm somehow betting they would
Excuse you?
probably shoot me down on sight as well.
The dwarves would be above, and it's very unlikely there'd be gnomes there. There could be. The gnomes and the dwarves have a decent relationship, it seems. But the only place that would be alcoholic with guaranteed gnomes and dwarves would be the place that you saw that had gnomes and dwarves, because the gnomes and dwarves ran it, which would be inside the Littlefoot Forest. which
Much
is your
to you.
home.
So we have the option of going to Greytown, that isn't too far from us, or to Littlefoot Forest. That's toward the bottom right of this continent.
I mean, either way, hey, might as well just. We could also just pass through Greytown on the way down there as well.
It is directly in y'all's path, yeah. In fact, that is a perfect that is a perfect line.
Stop laughing.
Look how perfect this line is, though. That like goes, yeah, that's like directly right in there. I'm not sure if I have a no. I have a map for that. Do I have a map for that? I have a map for that. Do I?
You don't.
I'm still fairly convinced going anywhere in Helios, or however
Helios.
it's said. Helios said. And Helios. I'm fairly certain going anywhere there is probably going to wind up with several arrows through my chest or wherever else at this point.
You do have disguise self.
Unprepared.
You guys be having a lot of
That's true. We did
Rests.
have 2 long rests, so I could potentially switch. Fair.
Let's do this one. Well, no, I want. Yeah, you guys are more than welcome to head that way if you wish.
I mean, it is a decent place. There is a bar. We can
I love how she
bug
calls
the
her
old
hometown a
man
decent
gnomes.
place.
You know what? They didn't treat me well at all. So what else am I supposed to say?
Well, you know,
It's a nice cozy forest in a 80-degree area.
You have so much clothes on you.
Blazing.
What was that?
How is it that none of you have seem more sunburned?
Photosynthesis.
Photos.
I think that usually only applies to plants, but I can't say I've seen too many other else, so I can't really refute that.
Photosynthesis. Why is that the one
mean-
you go with?
It was the first thing that popped in my brain. Thank you very much.
Jesus Christ. Alright.
I mean, how else am I supposed to explain why Rowena is a little more tan than me?
Because you spent very
That's
little
fair,
time in
actually.
anywhere under. Oh, that's
Pretty
fair, yeah. Ah, that's beautiful. Okay,
Anyway,
I wish I had my maps on me, but I don't. This saddens me.
Hold up. Something here doesn't add up. 1 sec.
I
Curiosity.
mean, you can try to find it as we go, because
That's what I've been doing for the last 5 minutes. Ha! Found it.
I was gonna say, who knows if we'll make it there, or we'll probably get there by the end of the stream.
Basically, what I was thinking is, I'm looking at my spell list here, and it's labeled as I'm missing 2 prepared spells here, and I'm trying to figure out if that's right.
Oliver. Spellbook. Prepared
At the very
spells
bottom, it
4
says
of
prepared
6.
spells 4 of 6. I'm trying to decide if that's. I'm trying to figure out if that's.
All of your innate is
right.
automatically done. Your cantrips automatically. Healing wood and ray of sickness automatic. Don't need prepares. So yeah, it looks. You're level 4, so you probably looks like you would need 2 more. Because healing wood and ray of sickness are just innate, basically.
True, but I'm double checking just simply to see what the fixed number it says I should have for my current level.
Yeah, no problem.
Just trying to decide if this is the way it's supposed to look or if something else is.
This is
Going
the
funky.
way.
Either way, I'm gonna keep on that. You guys go ahead and keep going.
Yeah. fuck was it? Grumple's Tavern? Grunkle? The fuck was it called?
Grumbles.
Grumble? Cool. So yeah, y'all get to Greytown fairly easily. There's very little that goes in your guys' way, aside from, of course, that work meeting, essentially. It's also, yeah, unless you guys want to do anything inside of, what's the word? Inside of Greytown, y'all would be pretty much good to keep moving.
I mean, I was hoping to look for some sort of magic shop, actually.
I was hoping to gamble.
Y'all are more than welcome to. Real quick before you do that, let me, just so I can actually focus on this properly. What's this called? Tavern Map? It is right there. Gotcha. Okay. So in terms of the magic stuff, I would say, just don't move you guys over to Greytown. Oops. No, move. Oh wait, I can't do that with this character, can I? Hold on. Forgot I'm on the wrong screen for that. That's the wrong. I'm professional. Shut up. There we go. So inside this town, in terms of magic shops, there would probably be a very small potion shop. So relatively low amounts of very base health potions. They also are not as, I don't like how expensive they are normally, especially the very low grade potions. So I would probably say, for my worlds at least, especially since this is Greytown, they make very sparing amounts of potions. So probably they're about 5 gold each. And there's maybe 3 or 4 of them. So
I'm actually going to ask if they have components available.
components. They would, so anything that is probably level 1 spells, cantrips, they would have pretty much all of the components for, or stuff that you can use as substitute for those components. And for potions, they would probably have some of the very, very base level stuff. So healing potion. Actually don't know a whole lot of potions. I did not know a whole lot of potions, shockingly.
There's a lot of odd ones.
There's a lot of odd ones. Probably they have a very small plethora of different plants and the like. They're very, very sad looking components. It does not look like they do a lot of farming that isn't specifically for food here. They do seem to have a couple of plants and stuff that could potentially be used for healing potions. Those look a little bit more like they were traded or they will be traded. So those probably cost you like half a gold each, 5 silver each.
Well, I guess since they for certain have level 1 spell components, I'm going to ask them about small bags of colored sand.
Oh yeah, they would have those. They would have a lot of those.
How much would those cost?
They probably would not be very expensive, considering the ground around you is a bunch of sand, and they can probably semi-easily change the color. So probably like a silver.
1 silver? Okay, I will pay for a small sack of mixed colored sand.
Nice. They will take it happily.
And I can now cast color spray.
A.
And I know this isn't a first level spell, but I'm also going to ask them about an eyelash encased in gum Arabic.
The hell is gum
Ew.
Arabic?
It's kind of like amber.
You
Ah.
don't need to worry
crystallized.
about your spell components.
This is a spell I'm not normally supposed to know. That's why I'm focusing on this one. It wouldn't make any sense for me to have gathered it up to this point.
For gum Arabic,
It's basically an amber.
oh, an amber. Let's see. Hold on just a second. Let's do... sure, let's go with that. They have 1. And it's a little bit more rare, so we'll go with like 5 silver. They don't know what to do with it, so...
Slightly hurts, but I think I'm gonna take it.
I mean, gum arabic is mostly sugar. You cook with it. I think it's. I'm bad with tree sugars. I think it's galactose.
I don't know. But either way, now I can cast invisibility. Plus 1 for free every day.
Nice. Alright, so in terms of gambling, let's roll. Let's see, what is there a gambling? I forget. It's probably sleight of hand, isn't it? Yeah. Let's go with. Roll me a perception real quick. Shaky.
All of us?
Not just you.
Oh, okay.
That'll work.
Okay.
Oh, I did not realize your perception was default. Oh, that's why. Looked at your character sheet. I was like, huh.
I got a very low wisdom. It's why I jump out at passing orcs.
You know what? Fair enough. Feel free to roll me a performance to see how well you do in terms of gambling. Pretty good. We're going to roll this flat one real quick. Oh, goody, goody.
All right. Who among you hicks thinks they can win money from me?
You see,
Step right up.
You see like 4 different dudes pop up, all human, and they sit down with you, essentially playing against you. You win quite a few hands. Do me a sleight of hand check real quick.
Sleight of hand? I'm not trying to cheat.
Oh, you're not trying to cheat at all?
Not yet. Until
All
I
right,
know
fair
how
enough.
good things are going. I'm a performer.
All right, fair enough. So you're winning.
I'm gonna try to beat them by out lying.
That's a fair point. You were playing. You were playing a real good game. Roll me performance again.
Question? Can I roll deception?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you were rolling a fantastic game right now. Oh.
Oh
No.
Sorry, you were doing a fantastic game. Sorry, let me. I had to rephrase that for a second there.
Now I'm cheating. Now I'm cheating.
Only thing that can be worse than a 3. Feel free to do sleight of hand real quick. Oh, that's much more like it. You played spectacularly bad for a round or 2, and things were not looking at your level. So you just played around with it slightly. Used your fancy hand magic. That's a fucking +8 that died right there.
No comment.
God.
Don't worry, boys. I'm sure you can win it back the next time I'm in town.
Let's see. How much gold did you get? Let's go with a hot diggity damn. You're gonna get platinum for that.
Woo!
A good performance. you got good smacker from that. They look more entertained than they do annoyed. You were probably the most exciting thing that's come across their town for the last long while. Probably since the last time y'all were here, actually.
Thanks for the game, boys.
Thank you, sir.
Y'all are paying for my retirement. My early, very, very respectable retirement.
All right. So let's go. Okay, so yeah, Oliver gets his stuff. Leon plays a game. Probably, I mean, again, time doesn't matter much, but it would be equivalent to around 8 p.m. probably at this point in time. Ellie, what have you been doing this entire time? Ruina is pretty much hanging off your shoulder for most of this time.
Probably just amusingly watching Shaky just break down these people.
What's your perception, by the way, Ellie? Ellie? I meant your base perception, but
Oh, base
works.
perception.
yeah, you have a +4. That's fine. A 9. You 100% would not have even slightly seen him cheat. You're just seeing this man get a luck streak of God.
Distracted with Ruina, of course.
Pretty much. And so, yeah, you're just kind of having a more or less fun time watching, I suppose. Oliver eventually comes back around probably halfway or so through the game, and, you're just kind of watching him be amazing. Why is that not declicking?
That is one heck of a card shark.
That's very annoying. Why is that not declicking? Click off. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, and so the day more or less passes by. I assume y'all are going to be going to sleep in Greytown?
How much does a night at the inn cost?
It's probably exceptionally cheap considering the location. Probably 5 copper.
5 copper.
Don't worry, I got it.
Okay.
I'll pop the barkeep 5 silver for 4 rooms if they have 4 rooms even,
Yep, they do.
and also for the drinks that I inevitably drank while I was camping.
Before they
You
leave,
know what? Screw it. I'll just give them a full gold.
Before they all leave for bed, I'm probably actually going to ask them. Hey, I think I just got components for a new type of spell. It's not harmful, but even so, could I get permission to test this out on someone?
Let me pull y'all into this bar.
I know it's a really weird question, but if this works, you will literally not be visible for... Crap, my thing is freaking out.
Oh.
Alright, I'm curious.
Did we kill you?
Yeah, I think my thing is dying. Excuse me while I restart my web browser.
No problem.
So he's
Well,
gonna
don't leave
choose
us
one of the
hanging,
guinea
Doc.
pigs, the drunks, and turn them invisible if it works.
Yeah, it should only last for a few minutes, but yeah, so if this works, it will turn you invisible.
Alright. Well, Shaky
I, for
seems...
one, would love to be invisible.
Oh, no.
If my fry pan goes missing, you're going down very quickly.
Yeah.
Question, is she looking at me or...
Oh, yeah,
or
she's
at
looking
Shaky
straight.
when she says that?
I think. Actually, yeah, that's a good question. Are you looking at Oliver when you say that, or are you looking at Shaky?
Can it be at both of them?
You're more than welcome to.
At both of them.
Just going cross-eyed.
I
mean, if you'd rather be invisible, I don't want to take that. I don't want to take this moment away from you.
Ruina's already panicked enough, so I'm good.
Fair enough. Alright. What do I do? Do I just have to drink a thing?
I hold out a milky white type of vial towards him.
God.
This looks disgusting.
Yummy.
How's this work? Is it a salve, a potion, a suppository? What do you want me to do with this?
Try rubbing it on the back of your hand for a start.
Oh, that's gonna be weird.
Right. It sounds like you don't know how your own concoction is applied, so forgive me for being slightly more nervous now. And I'm just gonna dump a little bit of it out on the back of my hand.
It just starts vanishing. You can literally just see through your hand, as if that point where you put the
Liquid.
the concoction on just does not exist anymore. It looks like, but you can still feel it. It just does not. You can literally just see the floor on the other side of the location you just placed that drop on.
Well, I'll be your miracle worker, Doc. I'm gonna cover myself in the rest of it.
Oh no.
So if he goes to steal stuff, would they just be floating objects?
Until they go
Not if
into
I
his
put them under my
pockets.
clothes.
True.
Oh crap. This actually works for an hour, it says.
I'm gonna head down to the bar.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Okay.
First things first. Would it be possible for me to sneak behind the bar and try to steal like whatever looks like an expensive bottle of spirits?
You know, feel free to roll me a stealth check with advantage.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this.
Oh no.
There's roll 1,
God.
and there's roll 2. I'll take that 21.
You are easily able to go into the back of the bar. Roll me. Yeah, this is gonna be funny. Roll me perception real quick. Oh damn. Okay.
These die rolls today. What gives?
I know, right? You see at the corner of your eye a what looks to be a bard sitting. Have you guys ever seen The Witcher?
I have
Is
watched
his
a couple
name
small
Dandelion?
people playing it, but
It's not. So let me post his picture in there real quick. If I yeah, there it is. Is that full size? Good enough. Campaign chats. Boop. Boop. There you go. So that's the bard that you see across the room. He's singing incredibly well. But weirdly enough, you can see his eye following you as you're moving.
I'm gonna flash him a thumbs up. And I'm gonna reach behind the bar.
invisible.
If his eye is following me, I know he can see me.
Yeah.
I know what bards are capable of.
Fair enough.
I will say,
I'm gonna reach behind the bar and steal some spirits.
Christ, I will say, this man has a higher perception than I think any of y'all will ever get to. So, but yeah, you steal the spirits, and he just starts strumming his lute that he's playing at the moment. And one of the lines he says is something along the lines of "A spirit be gone."
I'm assuming I've got a couple of bottles or flasks or something at this point.
Yeah, you have a couple of nice bottles, which I assume you immediately put under your coat as the bartender is just staring at the bard talking about spirits going missing. Specifically in reference to ghosts, but
I'm gonna go up on stage. I'm gonna take one of them and I'm gonna stick it inside the bard's bag. Get him a whiskey.
Yeah, fair enough. You actually see as you do that, his foot moves a gold towards you.
All right, I'm gonna pocket the gold. And
Oh my gosh.
whilst he's playing, there's another instrument, an invisible instrument joining in with the song.
Oh, I love this. Oh, it's a good fucking hour, my man.
I'm not done yet.
Oh.
Outside of once I've spent a good 10 minutes accompanying him with invisible instruments, I'm gonna outside of the tavern. I assume some of these farms have storehouses.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
I just gave this potion to a bard. Heard of whiz first, didn't I?
It was beautiful. What are you thinking?
First couple questions. Do I see? I'm gonna just walk the town until I find what looks like an easy mark.
Okay.
A relatively empty storehouse. While I'm walking, do I notice any thieves' cant in anything? Any walls? Any alleys? Anything like that?
I have to actually go back to the map real quick. Make my brain work. Real town, Grey Town, abstract, Duke. There you go, just so I can see this a little bit better. You would see a couple of alleyways. Most of the houses are fairly pressed together, so there's a couple of alleyways that you can see down. What was the other stuff you asked? Sorry.
Do I see any like thieves' cant etchings on any of the like sides of the houses or any of the fences? Anything that's like might mark a target or anything like that?
No, you would not.
Okay, so no thieves' guild here. That's a shame. I am going to find what looks like a storehouse
Okay.
if I can.
Mhm.
If not, an empty home. Maybe the people who live there are out in the fields, whatever.
Mhm.
Just something that looks like it's got valuables in it and is relatively abandoned.
Okay. Roll me a perception real quick. As you're walking this town, it's mostly just determine how long it'll take. Oof. Oof. It takes you a while. You're walking through these houses. Most of the houses seem to be full up. Most of them seem to be pretty. Most of this seems to be pretty run down for the most part. The entire town does not seem like it has particularly anything of value. If you pretty much spend this time walking and don't decide to move around, it'll take you probably about 40 minutes to find a house of any value.
Oh man.
Yeah.
How much time do I have left then?
You will have about 15 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna do this quick and dirty then.
All right, cool. So after about 40 minutes or so, you do in fact find a house. It from the outside it looks somewhat run down, somewhat barren. From the inside you can see something glittering in there, but you're not quite sure what. But it's the
Gonna
only
put
thing of
my,
value you've possibly seen.
Gonna go to, because they're so closely pressed together, I'm gonna
Mhm.
go to one of the sides and just peek in a window.
Okay. It looks like oof. It looks like what could this possibly be? It looks like something inside of a bag. We'll go with that for now.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get in through the window if I can.
Oh yeah. It should be fairly easy for you, but roll me a either acrobatics or athletics. I don't think either of those will be very difficult though. Unless you roll 2. But
I'm rolling so good.
still fairly high. So you managed to shimmy your way in. You are not stealthy. You may be invisible, which makes it so it's very hard for you to see what actually needs to move where. And so you just keep kicking sides of the window as it crawling through.
Feels about right.
You do hit the ground somewhat painfully. Your shoulders hits it just right on the ground as you're fumbling through the window.
There's a lot of muttered curses. Stupid legs. No. Ah.
Oh, nice.
All right, since I'm running out of time, I'm just going to grab the whole bag, and I'm also going to run through the cupboards and try to grab a few rations. Anything
Alright.
that looks like it'll last. Rice, cured meat, anything.
Cool. You do find quite a bit of rations, actually. Mainly because this place works primarily on rations, or... Alright, not only do you find a bunch of rations... I don't know if y'all could hear that, but that was great. That was great timing. Could y'all hear that? Please tell me y'all heard that.
I heard the applause.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. That's all for Shaky right there.
Just
No.
like I just like to imagine it's just like the entire building is haunted, but it's just like he just did such a majestic job of running off with all these belongings that the ghosts are applauding him instead of trying to kill him.
Oh yeah, you do find a lot of rations in there, probably a good week's worth of rations. But also you find a giant hunk of meat, just probably several day cured meat. It looks like it could be turned into the most glorious looking steak of all time.
Okay, I'm not going to take the meat because I don't want any wet meat. I will take the 7 days of rations. I will take the bag, and I'm just going out the front door now. I don't care. People can't see me. It'll look like the breeze did it.
As you pop open the door, close. Well, probably not close the door. Just pop open the door, let it do its thing. Yeah. So Your adventuring has gone quite a ways. You probably have known about 10 minutes or so of invisibility. Now that you fumbled your way through the house. Whatever's in that bag is jumping along with you, but doesn't seem... It's not alive, most certainly, from what you can tell.
Yep, when I get back to my room, I'm gonna inspect how many spirits did I get? How many bottles of spirits, I should say.
Roll me a 1d5.
D5 is not a die.
Just type in /r space 1d5.
/r space D5.
Yep, that work. 2. Nice. So you got
Nice.
about 2 balls. They're very nice. They would probably be worth at least 2 gold each. They're very nice.
Nice. This pleases me. And how many days rations did I get?
You probably got a total about 9 days of rations while
9
you're
days rations.
moving about, as well as another gold from the bard.
Oh, right, I should add that gold. Okay. 1 gold. 9 days rations. And 2 bottles. Cool, and finally, what's in the bag?
Inside of the bag, as you finally open up, is a single, somewhat large dice. It's a d20.
Okay. How big is this D20? I need details now.
It is about the size of your fist. It is half gold, half black, but it's like woven between. So like some the number is most of the high numbers are gold, most of the low numbers are black. The gold specifically is what was glinting off the light so much, and it's pretty heavy. It could probably be used to hurt somebody, but it seems like it's almost a weird form of metal from what you can tell.
Weird gold metal D20. Awesome.
So you robbed a dungeon master?
Apparently.
Hey, that steak is gonna be used for some good shit, alright? Cast catapult on the D20. Hey, we had an artificer inside a play-by-post campaign I was in that murdered a boss using a catapult spell with bombs.
Yeah, catapult can be nightmare fuel. If
Did
you know what you're doing with
56
that.
damage at level 2.
Are my companions still all in the same room?
I mean, I probably actually. He considers just like I want to make sure he's all right when that ends.
It's
Cool,
been about an
I
hour,
emptied
so-
everything in front of them then.
Okay.
So if
You're
anyone
like-
else wants to die, they can take it.
Just looks at us.
Grin
It's
on
like,
your
"Oh,
as you dump
where did you
everything.
get
on
all
the-
this?
Nowhere. Come on, you saw me leave the room invisible. You know where I got it from.
Pretty sure it'd be technically Oliver's fault since he caused the invisibility.
Yeah, Doc, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm taking the D20. It's mine now. I'm also gonna take a swig from one of the flasks of spirits, and I'm gonna hand it to Doc.
I am so screwed. That's so placing a hand to his face.
Oh, beautiful. Hey, y'all gonna be drinking with Shaky?
I mean, I might take a little bit. I need some as a component.
He hands you the ball.
I'll hand you one of the bottles just to keep it.
I love
Okay,
the
I guess I'll add another
idea.
vial to my inventory as well.
I love the idea of like a guy just passing a ball around and then everybody drinks, but one guy just slowly pours into like a contain like a vial and then just hands it to the next person.
Hey, Sin, do you know the best part about this?
Hmm?
With that ale, I can now cast the spell False Life.
Wow.
Well,
I
that's
love
one
that.
bottle
Use
down.
magic as a substitute for health.
I love that. That's hilarious. I didn't even realize that was that joke.
Well, that's one bottle down. You guys want to help me finish off the second one?
Ellie,
Come on,
you...
I can't drink all this myself.
I think I should just go to bed at this point. And simply say it and just turn around and just enter for my room.
Ellie, is your mic on?
Oh, it is.
Oh, there you are.
I was just listening.
Okay, cool. Because last time we had this kind of discussion, you got annoyed because your mic wasn't picking up. So just want to make sure.
I'll only drink if you tell me something about yourself.
All right, Potts. Let's do this. I'll hand but we're gonna have to make this fair. We're gonna have to turn it into a game.
Oh. I'm all for this.
Only if you fully, honestly tell me about yourself. Because
I can.
apparently we haven't actually gotten to know each other at all as a group. So we'll play a little learning game.
All right. Here's how the game works then. When you're holding the bottle, all right, you get to ask a yes or no question, but it's a question that you got to say yes to and take a swig. All right. So if I said, have you ever gone swimming in the ocean? It has to be something that I've done because I can answer yes to the question, and I'll take a swig and I'll pass you the bottle. If you've done it before, if you're answering yes, you get to take a swig too, and then it's your turn to ask a question, and we go back and forth.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, I suppose since I got the bottle, I'll go first. Have you ever been invisible before? And I'll take a swig. And I'll hand it to you.
Screw you.
That's right. More whiskey for me. Your turn.
Have you been to Helios?
And then you swig and pass the bowl. Ellie.
Shaky takes a swig.
Yeah, I'll take a swig and I'll pass it back.
Yep, and I'll take a swig. All right. Here's a question for you. Have you ever been to the Littlefoot Hills? I'll take a swig.
Yeah.
I have actually.
I'll pass you the
Wait,
bottle.
the hills?
That's
Yeah.
that's not how you say yes in this game. And I'll pass you the
Oh.
bottle.
Grab the bottle, take a swig.
That's more like it.
Both of you roll me a Constitution save real quick.
What if I don't want to?
Well, you know. Fun of the
I
game.
mean, you're drinking alcohol. It's
Yeah.
meant to define if you're
Currently,
getting
the DC
intoxicated
is
or
not very high.
Yeah, the first couple drinks usually aren't that bad.
Alright, cool. You two are perfectly fine. Shaky
I
is
am
drunk a lot
unfazed.
more than you have at the moment, so he's a little bit more tipsy than you are, but not by much. Alright.
All right. Your turn. Give me a good one.
Have you actually fought against mermaids, like you said?
I'll take the. Yeah, it's gotta be a question that you can answer yes to, and you gotta take a
Oh,
swig.
that's right, yeah. It doesn't help
Try
I haven't
again.
done much.
You've done a lot, like the bar.
That is true, but that...
So what kind of question you gonna ask, girl?
Have you...
I love the idea of Ellie just sitting there staring at you.
I'm gonna sober up by the time you ask a question.
Or pass out.
Or pass out.
What you thinking, Ellie?
Have you ever been to Littlefoot Forest?
Take a drink. Take a
Oh,
drink
I
and
will.
give me.
Here you go.
I'm gonna take a big swig. All right, my turn. Have you ever tried the veal in Donkey's Tavern? Because it is horrible. Actually, you know what? New question. Have you ever thrown up after tasting the veal in Donkey's Tavern? And then I'm gonna take a swig and pass it to you.
From context clues, this would be Grumble's Tavern to you. Although you would note that he said
Actually,
wrong.
I wasn't phased.
Good, more for me.
He is drinking so much more than you. Alright, Allie, what's the next one?
Do you know the old man gnome?
Do I know the old man gnome DM?
Very unlikely. You would have gone to the bar, but he would not frequent the tavern. So I would say no. So Ellie would,
Passing by.
Cool.
yeah, Ellie would swag, hand it to you.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
All right. Have you ever heard? I'm trying to word this one right. Have you?
Spill it. No secrets.
All right. All right. All right. I don't know how to ask this question. I'm gonna be honest. I'm too drunk for this game now. We can quit whenever you want. I can.
It sounds like you're the one quitting, coward.
What? I ain't no coward.
Both of y'all roll me con saves again, real quick. Probably say it's been like another 10 minutes or so of y'all swigging. Ooh.
Nope.
You're both very you're both getting to the drunk point. You're still able to talk, still able to function, not quite at the passing out point, but y'all are very loose lips.
Should probably call it.
Oh no, I got it. I don't know how to word it now. Have you ever been run out of the place you were born because you were being a dumbass? Actually, no. No, I'm gonna reword that question. Have you ever just been run out of the place you were born, exiled for whatever reason? And I'm gonna take a swig.
Oh,
And
my
I'll hand you
heart.
the bottle.
I can't say that I have, but I believe Oliver has.
Well, Oliver's just in his room sleeping. He ain't playing the game, so he's gonna swig or not.
Nope.
I wish Doc were here. Playing this game would be fun with Doc. When you got 3 people, you pass the bottle around. It's real fun.
Oh, do you miss your bro? You gonna start crying? I'll give you a hug.
Yeah, I'm good. I ain't the physically intimate sort. No siree, Bob.
This is the greatest shit I've ever seen.
Wait, you ain't trying to take advantage of me, are you?
Nope. Just taking advantage of your background.
Yeah. If you were the drunk one, I'd be doing the same.
Not much to tell. Sorry.
You're not good at this interrogation thing.
Never said I was.
All right, I think there's enough in here for one more question. I think it's your turn.
What you got for him, Ellie? Ellie.
I'm thinking.
So you know our audio is really good when you can't tell if somebody's thinking or if they're just mic is dead. It's my favorite kind of audio.
Now, Potts, but you better make this count, cause if that bottle comes to me and there's any whiskey left in it, I'm saying yes, it's going down.
I don't think you'd be able to hurt a fly right now.
A fly? No, but I'd be able to down that whiskey.
Deep concern.
Have you talked to the gods?
Well, like prayed to them.
No, like they appear to you in like a dream and talk to you, and you talk to them.
She takes a swig and hands it to you.
I
No,
look at
I
the bottle.
take a swig and hand it to him.
I take a look at the bottle with a little bit left, and I say, "Dang it! All right, I'll hand you whatever's left." I wanted to finish off the bottle.
I mean, there's still a drop.
Yeah, but it's not enough for me to ask a question, because then you wouldn't have to answer, because there ain't nothing left in there.
I mean, I can answer a question if you have a question. I don't mind. No
Uh,
alcohol or alcohol.
Have you ever been this drunk before? And I'm gonna try to take half of the drop.
You successfully managed to.
Sweet, I'm gonna hand half the drop to whatever little bit is left to Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie just looks at it, chuckles, and spins the droplet around in the bottle. I haven't been this drunk in a long time, but it was more of a competition, to say, at the bar I worked at.
I had you pegged all wrong. I thought you were too much of a goody two shoes to drink the swill you serve.
I mean, if you work at a bar, at some point you do taste alcohol in some way.
I wasn't asking if this was your first time drinking, but I got my answer.
Do you finish off the drink, Ellie?
I'll leave it there.
Cool.
Well, there's only one fair thing to do now.
Oh.
I'm gonna pour it out. I'm gonna pour it out right on the floor.
There you go, Mr. Floor. There you go, Mr. Ghost. Take that spirit. Both of you roll me one more con save. Nice. You're still moving, and she is too. Shockingly,
No.
y'all are both drunk off your ass at this point, having downed an actual bottle of spirit. You two are still shockingly functional, easily able to get back to your beds. Deeply suggest a fuck ton of water, but you're neither of you are
Water's for
throwing up
cowards.
yet. In fact, shockingly, Ellie is actually moving with more grace than Jakey is.
Ole, 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 oh Lord.
Ole, ole. Such a good song.
Thank you. I'm glad you got that one.
I need to find that TikTok at some point. No, I sent it to Ellie. But yeah, anything else y'all would like to do? Someone's gonna have a hangover in the morning, most likely.
Question is, which one?
From the looks of it, probably shaky. Yeah, so the night passes fairly smoothly, unless y'all have any particular interesting things y'all want to do during the night. You vaguely hear in the distance one person kind of commenting that his magical dice is gone, but you're not entirely sure if you misheard the word magical, or the word dice, or the word gone.
Oh my god, I stole a magical D20.
I'm gonna need to go and gather up the materials for identifying next turn, so.
Ellie is fairly certain that she heard the words magical and gone. Dice, on the other hand, could have been rice as well. She's not very sure.
And I wouldn't
Very dead
necessarily
this
say,
morning.
I wouldn't necessarily say there's something I want to do over the course of the night, but there is definitely something I'd like to do early in the morning.
No problem, was it?
I'm going to probably run another prayer towards Paylor, mostly just asking what on earth is going on here.
You will actually get a reply this time. The reply will be...
Jealous.
Ooh, that's actually a decent number. You are inside of the realm between two, so you do in fact get a reply. You're asking, what was your specific words?
It seems as if the orcs and the elves are facing off against each other, not necessarily to accomplish any goal, but almost for the sake of fighting itself. What exactly is this drive?
You'll get in response, a quest for a story. Hold on. Actually, I'm gonna type this out real quick. Because this will make a lot more sense in my brain.
It's another riddle. I'm going
Well,
to scream.
duh, that's what he likes to do.
I know.
Do. This might take me just a second to type out. Repeat the last bit that you said.
What do you mean?
The last bit that you said.
What exactly is the goal here?
Ah.
Get to Donkey's Tavern, have a good day.
Try not to kill the old man, no.
Why would I want to kill an old man? No.
Because he was quite the character growing up. I'd much
There we go.
rather be chased out. Why
So this
that
probably
happened.
won't. This might make sense to y'all. A quest for a story versus a quest for peace. One side for pain, the other for paradise. If you want to find the goal, find those who lead. To destroy or save the world at our whims.
So
at
destroy
this
from
point-
the insides.
At this point, it almost sounds like he thinks that this is some sort of game. Or this entire war is some sort of game to the gods. And he just mutters under his breath frustratedly.
Do you bring
your
up
riddle
this, Jelly?
talking gods are fickle and impulsive? No.
I mean, there's no question about that, but dear God.
Do you bring this up to Ellie by any chance?
Oof.
Probably considering she has actually mentioned that she has had direct contact with him before.
Cool.
A little upset. A little jealous.
Well, I mean, you could if you want, you could try reaching out to Shower before y'all go.
No.
Heck no!
You
Once
sure,
is
Ellie?
enough.
She
Yes.
she might be willing to talk to you.
Oh, wait, she tells the truth though. Frick.
She does in a very fun way. Yeah, you're more than welcome to have that scene with her if you want. You are sleeping. Is the world in between?
And we'll be leaving it in the
Yep.
morning, so
The Paylor will become your friend again, and she will not be able to talk to you, just like you did earlier. So this is pretty much your last chance to talk with her until y'all go back to the orcs, / goblins, / dwarves, / anything else. So would you like to talk with her?
sure.
Alright, cool. Alright. So, nighttime goes, so just before Oliver gets this fun thing, nighttime is going. You decide to head back to your bed, drunk off of your ass. You've only been drunk more once, and that was when you had to drink 2 bottles, because you drunk pretty much everyone under the table, and you did not get up easily that next morning. This one is a little bit nicer, it's a smoother ride. But you sleep, and Paylor's not there, weirdly enough. But Shar is there. And she's in her usual outfit. I don't remember exactly how I described her before. I think I said...
snake creepy lady?
Well, she's not quite half snake. I think I mostly mentioned that she had a
Half
shadow
was?
last time, didn't I? That she was like mostly just a shadow.
I remember snake.
Well, she has a snake on her shoulders, so that might be what you're thinking of. Anyways, you see her just kind of standing there, smiling at you as you enter this more or less void area, kind of similar to how it was last time. One side dark, one side light, and she's obviously on the darker side of things. So she just smiles at you. Her snake wrapping from her shoulder, kind of like oh, you guys probably seen the boa on the shoulders and stuff like that. Pretty much what that is essentially. And she smiles at you and she's like, "Oh, my little dears, come back to talk with me. How exciting."
Yes, mostly to ask questions.
Oh, what kind of questions do you have for me?
Do you know much about the elves?
The elves. I know so very, very much about them. I know the world that they shall be walking across. I know just how to crush their heads in your hands. What specifically?
Do you believe that elves and orcs will probably band together?
She gives like a deep, sensual chuckle at that. It practically fills the entire area, which is probably even more uncomfortable than her normal antics to you. Before she smiles at you. "Oh, my dear, you're traveling with a tiefling and a bard that seems to have a backstory of unknown qualities, a half-elf that seems intent on murdering most people or most things if given half the chance through a form of brainwashing. Anyone and everyone can work together and can be set against one another. Of course,
Okay,
elves
so
and
you're-
orcs can work together. It just depends on the situation they're presented with and who you get to see and put together."
So you don't know everything, though.
I'm a god,
Because-
my dear. Of course I don't. Do you think I look at all the specks of dust on the floor? I only look at the ones which are interesting. And the ones that Paylor likes, because then I can fuck with them.
Paylor has favorites.
Of course he does. Have you met yourself?
He only speaks in riddles. I'm really certain even lonely you would know that.
He has fun with riddles. Is one of the reasons why I don't. But he seems to have a favorite upon you, probably because you're the only being that has been able to talk with the two of us for quite some time. Although usually they die before they get a chance to. Something about our magical powers making their brains explode. It's kind of funny. Turns out when you have two clashing entities being against your head for all eternity, you die. You'll probably get to that stage eventually. Isn't that exciting?
Well, it's a good thing I'm a half elf then, so I don't have to deal with the clashing and exploding, as you put it. I'm sorry that'll bore you.
Aww. Stay inside of Rio Tau for long enough. Trust me, you'll get there.
Oh, trust me. I smile at her. We're not staying that long.
But to answer your question, my dear, put two people in the right room, and they'll become friends. Put two of the wrong people in the right room, and they'll kill each other. Put two people who don't give a shit, and they won't do anything. All depends on the person.
Makes sense. I have another question.
Yes.
Do you know much about my past that I don't even remember?
Of course I do. I've been watching you since you were born. I can't interact with you, unfortunately, for most of your times, but I can watch.
Do you know my parents?
Of course I do.
Are they the same as the other half-elf in my group?
She smiles at you and walks forwards and gently puts the back of her hand against your cheek. Now, my dear, why would I ever tell you that?
Because you enjoy me having spoilers that Paylor didn't even tell me.
Oh, Palo didn't tell you because he never asked. I like to make it so you're in the dark, so you're confused, so you get to wander in confuzzlements. It's so glorious. But I will tell you if you do something for me.
If it's to pet your snake, it's a no.
Nah, he'll bite you if you do that. Trust me, you'll feel it. Now, what I would like you to do is I would like you, when you meet a wonderful, wonderful subject of mine.
I think I already did.
Oh, not him. He's a fun person. No, I'm talking about someone who's much, much more of a pain in my ass, but also still my subject. You would know her as Bloodtooth's pet, I guess. The elf.
The healing mage?
Yeah, her. You see, she has a little bit of my power. Pretty much just in the fact that she is able to resurrect people, but also to heal them beyond most fabrics that should be healed. This pisses me off, because it makes it so my plans are out the fucking window. I need you to go and talk to her, slap the shit out of her, and just bring her to me.
So, how would I bring her to you unless she is dead?
Oh, it's very simple. You throw a dagger into her heart, and then you keep stabbing her heart until she finally doesn't have enough magic to bring herself back to goddamn life. Or bring one of my necromancers into the range of her and then stab her in the heart over and over again until my necromancer brings her to me. One of those two. I don't care which.
So you don't have a temporary form here?
I do, but you bring her up about 500 feet into the air, up a giant pillar would probably be a pain. I assume you don't want to do that. In fact, she kind of pokes your arm. I don't know if you could lift her.
Thanks.
Anyways, if you agreed to
right.
do that for me, I'll totally tell you who your parents are.
Well, I might figure it out for myself eventually.
Yes, but where's the fun in that, darling?
It's not fun, but it's livable compared to where the healing mage is currently at.
She shrugs. That is the deal I've laid for you. All you have to do is simply agree that one day, if you meet her, you'll stab her in the heart, and eventually bring it to me. And then, once we shake on it, I'll tell you your parents. Otherwise, have fun trying to figure that shit out. It's a whole barrel of monkeys, and I shoot all of them.
Well, I'll definitely love to handle the barrel of monkeys compared to the army of orcs and everything else I'd have to deal with, because if you kill one person, there'll always be more to revenge.
She shrugs softly. I mean, you could also do my other favor, but I deeply doubt you'll do that.
Probably, but curious gets the best of me.
No, it's very simple. You help dismantle the entirety of the council. There's already plans in motion for it anyway, so really, you just have to make sure they go through.
What if both sides were dismantled?
I mean, you'd be doing both of those. Honestly, you'd be doing me a favor at that point.
Truly?
Yeah, because you'll be dismantling the council, and you'll be killing the son of a bitch that won't fucking die.
Well, that's thanks to you for her not dying.
It's just a fragment of my power that she refuses to give back to me. I don't like that. See, my necromancers, if I tell them to die, they'll stab themselves and shrivel up into tiny corpses and give me my powers back. She doesn't. You see her face frown when she says that.
So you have control of however many necromancers, but not her.
Of course I do. The necromancers they've pledged themselves to me and they will listen to my every command. They're also their own people, unlike Palor's dolls.
So, are you able to even control, like, plagues happening or have them make up plagues?
She shrugs. I give them the powers. What they do with the powers is entirely of their own free will. I don't take away their free will. Where's the chaos in that? Palor, on the other hand, is a kind of a dick. His paladins are pretty much all controlled under him. There's a couple of them that he doesn't control. He has to keep track of all of them, and that's kind of pain in the ass, you know. You don't know how he is. You're a human. It's a god thing. Too many specks of dust to keep track of.
Well, I'm guessing he's keeping track of me, since apparently I'm one of his favorites.
He's keeping track of you in that, you're alive. I keep track of you the same way. Your interactions are so fascinating. Although it keeps making me want to throw something at you. Namely bottles. Kind of fun.
I've already had my share of a bottle already before this meets of ours, so I'm good.
Exactly. Anyway, so if you just agree to do the simple task of helping to demolish the entire council, I'll be more than happy to tell you your parents. And if you manage to kill the son of a bitch, then, I'll owe you a favor at that point.
I'll think on it.
If you ever wish to seal the deal. She flips up what seems to be a coin for a second before it turns into a pitch black rock and hands it to you. All you have to do is just speak into the rock.
Okay.
Don't worry, my dear. She leans real close to you and just put on her head next to your shoulder and whispers into your ear, I will always be with you.
And I will always be a bother.
Yeah, you're helping me. I don't see that as a bother. See her just starts to slowly walk back towards the dock side, as we should call it. Time for you to wake up, little princess.
With a headache?
We'll see.
Well, I already dealt with you, so probably.
Alright. And then you just kind of wake up. Roll me a constitution save real quick. That would be the one on the right side, by the way. Oof.
Oh boy!
You feel like someone rammed a spike through
done.
your skull a couple times, you know? Yeah. Real quick, Shaky, roll me a con save as well.
Do I have to?
Want to see how badly you got messed up by half a bottle. You are doing slightly better than she is. You can walk.
I blame Shar for this.
You can actually walk. When you look into her room, she may or may not throw something at you.
I'll just go to the open up the door and rest my head on the door frame and be like, "You too."
I mean, clearly.
Yeah. I gotta stop drinking.
I've met many men like you. They don't stop drinking.
You're right. I need more alcohol. I was gonna quit, but you talked me into not quitting. What'd you say yesterday? I shouldn't be a quitter. You were right. You're absolutely right. I'm gonna go now.
I recommend not drinking too much. I don't think you'd really enjoy being in the presence of Shar.
As I'm down the hall, you just hear a voice go, "Hypocrite!"
Love you too.
Alright, well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be our episode for the week. Probably, I'm assuming Oliver is going to attempt to come into your room at some point later to tell you his message, but that headache. Huh?
Actually, I just assumed that I had gotten up reasonably early to run that prayer, and after I had heard the words, I went downstairs and just got a cup of tea and I'm just waiting at one of the tables.
That's
Okay, yeah,
fair.
you definitely see Shaky walking up looking horrible.
Long night.
What are you drinking?
Just a cup of tea. Seemed like a good place to get started. Yeah.
Barkeep, can I get an ale?
These premonitions keep getting weirder and weirder.
He nods and he hands you a small container of ale.
And whatever you got on the top of the stove.
He hands you a nice bowl of what looks to be a form of mashed potatoes and small amounts of meat.
Good enough.
You do notice that as you're attempting to look around with your massive headache beating your head in, you do see the bard playing very soothing music on the stage. It's very calm and collected. It's just like early morning gentle music for the those with a hangover.
Yeah, he's getting no reaction from me.
Alright, cool. But yeah, so that'll be our episode for today. So if you guys want to see us continue this, check us out in 2 weeks, on the 8th. Yes, on the 8th of April. We're not going to be doing anything for April 1st. Yeah, joke's on you. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys do, feel free.
Yes, we are doing something on April. So we could just simply say April Fools.
April Fools, we're not doing anything on April 1st. There we go.
Aha! We got you! I don't know.
I love it. But if you guys are interested in watching us or watching me do some of my solo series, feel free to follow us and go check us out. Our various stuff. I have a link tree to do our fun stuffs, or check out our Twitch. I'm terrible with these, so just check us out where we are. Go check out Vods of Valhalla, which is our YouTube for our previous episodes, as well as all the other episodes that I do. Oh, okay. It re-rolled your 5 for some reason. Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye!
Have a good one.
Bye.
Asta.